What's up everybody, this is Reese here from Seaman, and welcome to my review of Fairy Tail chapter 392, You Must Not Forget. So the battle between Grey and Silver is now over, with, kind of a pretty much predictable ending, but, obviously for the 3 moments there were some very emotional scenes which was nice, but overall, I must say I was a little bit disappointed with the execution of this chapter here. I'm obviously going to get into that a little bit later. So obviously with nothing working against Silver, obviously ice being no effect, physical attacks basically just being completely overpowered, Grey is only left with one option left, which is pretty much the same path that his master took, to try and use the ice shell to just basically imprison him. Now, this move here is obviously extremely risky for two reasons. Obviously the fact that, well, once he uses it he's dead, but the other one is the fact that ice doesn't actually affect Silver, so, to be honest, I'm thinking like if Grey actually was to use it, what would probably happen will be like, Silver get frozen for an instant, then he'll just break out and then have that smug look like while Grey's just looking on in surprise as like, his life force slips away and he dies. Then, he'll drop to the ground, super slow motion, just like, I'm sorry everyone, boom, and then probably Juvie will end up crying or some crap like that. That's the kind of thing that I thought probably would have happened if he actually did fully execute this ice shell. But who actually does know what, fully what actually could have happened, because there was the thing of like Silver showing obviously a hell of a lot of fear once he actually heard the word, the ice shell. Second he's seeing that, it's just like, oh my god, he's not going to use that, what the hell, you see his eyes go wide and everything. It kind of reminds me like a lot of the whole Mafuba incident, in the King Piccolo saga of Dragon Ball. Second, like, King Piccolo sees a container there, he's like freaking out, even though he's obviously even more, like, much more powerful than friggin' Master Roshi, Tien, and Chaozu. He can, like, he dwarfs him, so obviously it's kind of like that, it's like he's been hit by it before, he knows the effects of it, so it's kind of like left a long-lasting impression of fear into him. Because obviously, Silver is there like, oh friggin', you can't do anything against me, what you got to do next? So I just love seeing the fear on your face, and to see like the bit of fear on him, it's kind of surprising, it's kind of funny. But yeah, obviously Grey, he ended up going to use the technique, and I must say, I thought it was really good what he was doing, using like the ice clones as decoys. It's like really Naruto inspired right there. But obviously the next part is the part I actually did find really disappointing. It's the whole kind of like actual defeat of Silver. To be honest, the whole like, steel ball thing, I have no clue where the hell Grey had that like hidden on him, where it came from. It just kind of like cropped up out of nowhere, it kind of to me felt like a little bit of an arse pull to stop Grey from actually being able to die. It's because obviously we knew he has to defeat Silver, because obviously it's a shonen manga, protagonists always win, and this is kind of like a whole big build up and everything, so it's obvious that Grey has to win. But the way this was executed, I just wasn't fully happy with it. It just felt kind of like it was really copped out. So obviously, obviously you guys know what happened. He obviously threw the steel ball and it went straight through Silver's like chest, blowing it apart and obviously killing him. So yeah, it's kind of like another thing of, if he had the silver ball from the beginning, why didn't he use that after he found out that the rocks could actually hurt him? The fact that, oh yeah, he can't hurt Silver with ice, trying to fight him physically is not going to really work, but the rocks worked. At least they gave him a little bit of an opening, so why the hell didn't he just use the steel ball from then? Why did he have to go through the whole build up of the whole ice shell thing, like maybe sacrificing his life to save everyone? Why did that have to go through it if in the end he could have just like used that silver ball from the very beginning? Yeah, I'm just really disappointed. That's what it is. This whole fight, it seemed really cool. I actually would have preferred it if the way he defeated him was obviously like at the end of the last chapter where he used Silver's ice against him. I thought that would have been a much more effective way to actually show the defeat of Silver. It's like, yep, he's beaten by his own magic, by his son, trying to use the father as a way to defeat the son, but then the son uses the father's magic to fight against it. Yeah, I would have thought that would have been a much more kind of like thought out way, but this way here just felt like such an arsepull. That's what's wrong with it, It's not so much that I hated it so much, it's just that I was just disappointed with the execution of it. It's like I said, it just felt like a really big arsepull. I know some of you guys probably loved the chapter, you thought that it was amazing, but personally, it just didn't feel like that should have been the way to win. And then obviously at the end you have the whole thing of like Grey saying, oh yeah, I know that you are actually indeed my father. So there's a whole kind of like weird little plot twist, like the way it's obviously coming across, like if you're just looking at it straight out, is just like, oh yeah, that is actually Grey's father who became a demon and he's lying saying he's Deloria to get his son to fight him properly or something like that. or it could even be a thing of, you know, he said that to Grey so that Grey could actually kill him and release him from this. Or maybe it's a whole thing of, you know, he actually is Deloria, but Grey's father is still in there, and, you know, his father probably gave him a little bit of an opening to actually defeat Deloria, therefore freeing his soul. Something like that. You know, there's lots of different little ways, but yeah. Other than that, the rest of the chapter was, I think, really not really good. You know, it had nice build up, nice levels in it, but it was just the defeat just left a horrible taste in my mouth personally. So yeah, other than that, alright chapter. Just really disappointed with the ending. Well, the defeat, I should say. So yeah, that about ends it here from me, guys. You know the usual thing to do at the end of this. Let me know what you thought about this chapter. Did you guys think that the steel ball thing was a good thing or a bad thing? You know, how did you think it should have ended? Do you think it really should have ended like when Grey ended up turning the Ice Demon Slayer magic back against Silver? Because personally, that's where I think it should have ended. But yeah, let me know all that stuff, obviously, in the comment section below. And as usual, don't forget to check out the other stuff we do on the channel. So I'll see you next time.